And so, but you know, it's like a year or two waiting to this.
Yeah, most of them are.
And we've been having some conversation with Nancy Price and
Yeah.
you guys, you know, it feels sort of like we have to balance health issues and mobility issues and then financial issues.
Are they equity based now?
What?
Are they doing equity these days? Yeah. Almost like the Bible.
Well, you're not buying, no, it's somewhere between 550 and 600,000. And you get 90, or it's state that's 90% back. And then.
Because I worked at Contemplative. I was a CFO for 23 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting too big.
I liked it, and it sort of was like, it's sort of in a very busy part of town. I just don't know. We'll see. We're having a conversation about, what would we like to do?
Is that okay with you?
Upstairs.
Hi. I know.
Tomorrow it could be.
Good to see you.
And
Back to your, I haven't seen you.
we're kind of trying to, are you living in one place?
No, convenient. I just have to work basically my whole career.
Yeah,
You want to live in that?
And see, the thing is, don't give them until they need it.
And then it's all too late. I'm
So,
aware of that.
I never did so much.
I've watched that train wreck happen a couple of times already.
So I'm going to bring in some prayer books, but we're going to need both tonight.
Yeah, and, yeah, so I've seen that train wreck, and I don't want to.
No, I've run. Believe it or not, I've never tried to be on this. We're still working, so I don't know what the regs are now, because they were changing my regs, like the teachers, and blah, blah, blah. But back then, they were coming here, if you had basically test physical, you were in here. So you had, free test physical.
But
They could do what they call the direct experience.
Very cool.
But they could leverage healthcare.
It's very complicated. It gets really,
Oh, yeah.
it's happening. It's so weird to go.
Okay, I think there's, we'll get to the next one talk.
Wow.
I know.
Set up dates with different couples and travel. That's nice. And, but, walking the dining hall, it's like, I realize I think we're here, but, there's a lot of people on walkers and they're, going,
Yes, thank you.
and I'm still actively writing and painting and doing my things. And so, one level, it's just an apartment, we're struggling, I don't say we're struggling with it, but we're having a lot of conversation around it.
It's just like the demographics.
Is this a good angle?
They should be built with like 3 ways.
It's a bit of an angle. It's okay.
I think they renovated, it feels like they made.
Yeah.
And also, I don't remember,
It's important.
you kids
I
right
know,
there.
I know.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I used to project into a huge hall with 100 women.
Something wrong.
Now the microphone.
No mic.
Wow. What happened?
Well, I'm older, tired of it, but I don't have to.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really being in my strong.
That's just, we got Christmas. Good luck to the Jewish soul. In the soul pipeline. Came to my office and he was I forget exactly.
I think we're well resourced.
My office and said,
It's gonna make a gotta hand out.
There may be someone, they were just need some establishment. This man from the Mexican consulate is trying to get here.
He's got limitations.
Say again?
Physical limitations.
No.
I can't do that anymore, you know.
He just has wanted to come to services.
He's yours? So that.
He's exploring.
Okay, no, people say, oh, you know what? You're excited.
One of my other favorite stories when I was up there, we had several of our residents to help us, but the one he was in my office, he said, "Mom, can I ask you a personal question?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "It's too personal." He said, "Yeah, he said, during the concentration camp."
Oh, happy years, right? Look at the microphone.
There's extra oneg for people who sit in the center.
Get an extra,
I made out like a bandit.
extra brownie.
They're not eating.
What about people that hide behind Who have to polish their shoes.
You get an incognito over there.
Thank you. Awesome.
Hi, Julie.
Josh.
You know, we'll come in if you.
This
We
is
don't
the-
bite.
It's the splash zone here, you know.
Wait for Steve. Welcome, friends. As we arrive on this winter Shabbat, we enter a season that naturally invites us to soften. The nights stretch longer, the air quiets, and without our effort, something in us begins to lean inwards. And I think we need that right now. Tonight is a chance for our Shabbat services to match that rhythm. To slow down, to breathe a little more deeply, to let the world's noise loosen its grip so that we can hear the whispers inside us that really only speak when things grow still. This week, we begin a series of Joseph's stories. This is the beginning of them, where dreams rise from the depths and reveal paths that are not yet visible in the daylight. I love the Joseph story in that it looks like things have taken a challenging turn, and then something arises that we could not have predicted. I think we could use some moments like that in our life, and the Jewish midah, which is soul trait or quality, is called bitachon. It's a trusting in a deeper knowing of the universe that will unfold in a way that can nourish. And so, in the same way, the darkness can also become a gentle teacher for us. Not something to fear, as we're often taught, but a place where clarity begins its slow unfurling. So tonight, through chant, through silence, and presence with one another, we make a sanctuary together. A sanctuary of quiet wisdom, of light meeting shadow, of resting in what is timeless. And so you are welcome here exactly as you are. Be as exactly as you need to be. Let yourself settle. Let yourself be held. Shabbat is ready to wrap around us. And so, you know me, most of you. I'm Rabbi Joshua Lesser. I have the honor of co-leading tonight.
Elizabeth Cohen. I've been a member here for a
Josh,
while.
can you talk
Oh,
Yes.
Elizabeth Cohen. Some of you I know, but hello to those I don't. I've been here a while. So we have had a way in our family of entering Shabbat. It's a way that we learned from Reb Zalman Shabbat Shalomi, Zichrono Livracho, of letting go the week, and that's what we're going to be doing through our time together in a way, on deeper and deeper levels. And this is very much, right in the beginning, even before we light the candles. Taking some moments to just reflect where we are right now, this moment. And if you're willing to just reflect back quickly through your week. And as you do that, you may notice things that you really want to let go of, that you've brought them in here with you. And that maybe for this evening at least, or maybe for the whole of Shabbat, till the week starts again tomorrow night, you'd be willing to just let them go and put them in what we called a tsuris box. A little box that you can say, okay, for now I'm putting this in there and I'm closing the lid so I can enter more fully into this moment. And just noticing if anything comes up for you from your week. And just seeing if you're willing to imagine you have a box next to you and can actually place something in it, and if you're willing to then put the lid on. And as you go back through the week, you may also discover beautiful moments that touched your heart, what I call gems, the gems that have nourished us. And it may have been a fleeting moment, hearing a bird or seeing a child or something with your partner or with a loved one, or just seeing the sky, feeling the rain, whatever it is, something that about being alive and being here that nourished you. And just gathering those moments into your heart. And as we take another step towards readying ourselves to light the candles of Shabbat, we'd like to bring the beautiful chant from a phrase of Psalms, Ki imcha mokor chayim, for with you is the source of life. Ba'orcha nirei or, in your light we see light. We're addressing this mystery of life, things beyond our immediate knowing. In fact, I have it printed round here.
So friends, you'll find the words on the chant sheet. And since we light candles and then we say the blessing, as we lead this chant, if you would like to come forward, there's enough candles for each of us to light one. So please feel free as you move to come and light. Ki imcha mekor chaim, ki imcha mekor chaim, ki imcha mekor chaim, biorcha nirei or. For with you is the source of life. For with you is the source of life. For with you is the source of life. In your light we see light. Ki imcha mekor chaim. Ki imcha mekor chaim, ki imcha mekor chaim, biorcha nirei or. For with you is the source of life. For with you is the source of life. For with you is the source of life. In your light we see light. Ki imcha mekor chaim. Ki imcha mekor chaim. Ki imcha mekor chaim. Biorcha nirei or. For with you is the source of life. For with you is the source of life. For with you is the source of light. In your light we see light. Ki imcha mekor chaim, ki imcha mekor chaim, ki imcha mekor chaim, biorcha nirei or. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Mekor chaim, biorcha nirei or. Yai la la ya la 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 la. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai.
So as Rick finishes lighting the last few candles, and for those of you on Zoom, for those of you on Zoom, Rick is lighting lots of candles to include you. Taking a moment to really take this light in before we begin to gather ourselves physically to, you even want to stand up, you can do it sitting down, to really allow yourself to take in the light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Shabbat. Amen.
Here we are. Here we are all together, and here I am.
Hineni, 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 Here I am, here I am, here I am, Hineni, 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 here I am, here I am, here I am, here I am,
With dark and with light, here I am.
Here I am, Hineni, here I am, here I am, Hineni.
So, here I am, dark and light, And there's this wonderful prayer to create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me and renew a true soul within me. And renew a true soul within.
Great Spirit, create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me. Great Spirit, create a pure heart in me. And renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Friends, we continue with light on page 7 or 9 in the transliteration with Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman Meshochav Decha El Retzonecha Yaharutz Avdecha Kemo Ahayal Yishtachave El Mul Hadarecha Avlo yedidutecha mino fetzuf vechotam yada dai 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 yada dai 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 yada dai 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 yada dai 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 yada dai 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 yada dai 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 yada dai 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 yada dai 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 yada dai 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 yada dai 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 yada dai 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 We continue with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Orchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Archuni l'shalom,
Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sechem l'shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We turn to page
So-
41. L'chadodi.
So as we prepare, filled with his angels and the light, to sing L'chadodi, we want to do an experiment tonight, to do it a little differently. Usually we take the first paragraph of each page and then two on the last one. And this time we're just going to do the first two verses and the last two. That's one difference. And the other is a custom which has actually been for hundreds of years of turning around, opening the door, and etc., and turning around and greeting the Sabbath bride for the last verse. And it's always felt a little awkward to me. This practice arose from the Kabbalists going out into the fields to be in creation to meet the Sabbath bride. And it wasn't all of them, it was the guys who went out to meet the Sabbath bride. And that's the Shekhinah, the indwelling presence of God. And my sense is that that presence is with us wherever we can go. We don't have to go out, we don't have to open a door, that door. We have to open the doors of our hearts to experience that. So we're suggesting tonight to instead of turning around on the last verse and opening the doors and bowing there, to stay within our circle and to bow with what is natural in this room. Here we are, human beings, creation from who knows what, complete mystery that some of us name God and some name other things. And that we can bow to what we're made, B'Tselem Elohim, it says in our tradition, in the image of God. And we can bow to that spark of divine within each of us as we enter into this piyut. And I found this phrase always enlivened me when I hear it, that the 19th century Hasidic Rabbi, the Kotzker Rabbi, was asked, where is God? Where does God dwell? And he said, God dwells wherever we let God in. And Shekhinah, which is the bride, is also that indwelling presence of God. So as we invite the Shekhinah in for the Sabbath, let's do it within our group and stay here. We can still stand for that last verse, but see what it's like as an experiment to bow to that in yourself and also to that in each other. I'm seeing a couple of nods. So, here we go.
Yes, page 41. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmiyanu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, Ushmo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'litila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki mekor haberacha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'mashavat chila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Yamin u'smol tifrotzi, v'et Adonai taritzi, al yad ish ben parzi, v'nismecha v'nagila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Let's take a breath together. Winter teaches us that darkness is not empty, it's alive. This poem by Wendell Berry invites us to trust that what seems obscure can become a companion. As you listen, notice which line lands in your body. Let it sit with you like a quiet lantern in the dark. To know the dark. To go in the dark with a light is to know the light. To know the dark, go dark. Go without sight and find that the dark too blooms and sings and is traveled by dark feet and dark wings. When we find Ahavat Olam, I want to invite us to connect to this sense of love. You might imagine your heart as a small, lived-in space. Think of your heart with books on the floor, cups left out, maybe a little dust in the corners. Not a museum, but a real home. Ahavat Olam, it's not about being loved because of perfection. Rather, it connects us to a sense of fresh air. Let the words open a window and invite a softer, kinder way of seeing yourself. We find Ahavat Olam on page 63. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu V'shochveinu v'kumeinu Nasiach b'chukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha Uv'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu V'orech yameinu V'orech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam v'layla Yomam v'layla V'yavatka lo tatzur memenu li'olamin Baruch ata Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Amen.
So as we chant the first 6 words of the Shema together.
We're not there yet.
You got it.
Yeah,
That's
I got us.
got us.
Great, yes. I will be what I will be. Ehyeh asher ehyeh. This is one of God's names, and it's also a blessing over our own becoming. As we chant, notice any part of you that feels stuck in an old story. This is just who I am. Gently offer that part another possibility. Let the words loosen. Let the grip of certainty and make space for surprise. You'll find Ehyeh asher ehyeh on the chant sheet on your seats. Ehyeh asher ehyeh, 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 asher ehyeh, asher ehyeh, asher ehyeh, asher ehyeh, asher ehyeh, asher ehyeh. Ehyeh Asher, 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 Invite us to notice if anything feels unstuck. So now as we chant the Shema, we lean into the mystery that everything somehow belongs to one life. You might let your edges soften a bit, the way you divide yourself, perhaps into good and not good enough. Let that soften. The way you divide the world into us and them, let them soften. For just a moment, allow yourself to rest in a wholeness larger than your understanding. And I wanted to invite Elizabeth to add some words to the Shema as well.
So, these words have changed meaning for me so many times over the years. And the central piece of it, which is twice said, Shema Yisrael, and sometimes it would be Shema, Rick, Shema, Linda, Shema. Adonai, I now always refer to as Havaya. And it's something I learned from particularly Rabbi Waskow, who has just recently passed.
Beloved memory.
And it was very central teaching for him that, number one, this doesn't say Adonai, Lord, Master. It's about an ineffable quality of life, of presence. And that doesn't really get captured by the word Adonai, which is part of a hierarchical, patriarchal kind of order of things. And he was also very conscious of environmental issues. And so this living spirit of life, Havaya, of breath, which relates to breath, is just, has become much more meaningful to me, and also is what moves me, and what empowers us in a way. So let's share the Shema together, listening to ourselves and to each other as we call out and declare this unity of all life, which is really what it speaks to. That this presence of life is one. In you, in me, in the street, in the trees, in the animals. It's one living thing that shows up in multiple ways. And then we'll continue on with the Yahavta. Shema Yisrael Havaya Eloheinu Havaya Echad.
Yahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha ub'chol nafshecha ub'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, vidibarta bam, bishiftecha bevetecha, uveleftecha vaderech, ushafbecha uvekumecha, ukshatam leohot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beinenecha, uktavtam, Al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. So friends, probably a little bit against my better judgment, I'm going to try to keep this on the briefer side, but with Elizabeth's kavanah about Adonai, which means Lord and Master, and Havaya, living presence. I just encountered teaching by Rabbi Shefa Gold that I think is, for me, has been a really interesting deepening of my understanding of the many different metaphors that we use as Jews to speak about God. And one of the things that I used to do with our B'nai Mitzvah kids here is early on, and particularly because in the morning blessings, there are so many different metaphors. Each blessing has a different metaphor, like Redeemer, light, mirror. And really, we have hundreds of these metaphors. One of the things that I think Reb Waskow and many other teachers try to say is like Adonai, which gets used most for, if you want to know after services, I'll explain why Adonai gets used much. But that means master. And so it feels pervasive. And what I love about our prayer book is that we translate the ineffable name of God, which you can see over there in big letters, Yud He Vav He, in English with all of these different metaphors that you can find in Jewish tradition. And why the invitation that Elizabeth invited us to think about, rather than always going to Adonai, is that one of the things that when we use a metaphor for God, let's say like mirror, so one of the things that I would have our B'nai Mitzvah kids do is I'd have them look through the prayer book, and I asked them to find 10 metaphors that resonated with them about their sense of godliness or holiness in the world. And then I asked them to find 5 that they detested. And then I asked them to find 5 that they didn't really understand, that didn't make sense to them. And then we would all talk about it. And, Rambam, Maimonides, talks about how we can't really fully ever know God, and so metaphors are a portal to understand one aspect of God. But what Rabbi Sheffigold was reminding a group of rabbis this week is that metaphors actually say as much about us as they do about God. So if we call God Master, what are we saying about ourselves?
Servant.
If we're saying God is life present, what are we saying?
He's with us.
If we're saying that God is a mirror,
God is us.
if we are saying that God is a light,
We are light.
we're light, or we're seeking, or
Seeking light.
so the metaphors that we use for God speaks about what our relationship is.
Interesting.
And so I want to bring in that teaching for us, to not always feel locked in. I understand why our ancestors felt like servants or slaves to a master. We don't really love that anymore. And so, to think about, if God is a rock, we're probably people who are seeking steadiness, right? If God is a well, we're thirsty, right? And so I think that we can enrich our spiritual lives by embracing and looking at the metaphors. It made me appreciate that I did this exercise with our kids even more, and that perhaps I should have done it with the adults as well while I was here. Maybe I'll have an opportunity down the road to do that. But you'll notice that every time Yud He Vav He is in here, you will see God's name in all caps. So you can begin to see in the English all the different metaphors that this prayer book captures. Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
There are more than one meanings of master.
Sure.
Is the master that you are referring to, or that is referred to in the tradition, the master as a boss or the master as a teacher?
So Rav, usually, rabbi, is master as teacher, and Adon is usually master as boss, or mister.
I've also heard another, in understanding the meaning of the Adonim, or the places in the structure of the Mishkan, of the joints, the places of the joints. So that's another way people refer to Adonai as the joints, the things that join things together.
The connectors. It's a beautiful stretch, is what I would say,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
which I love about our tradition. We turn to page 81. And Ufros Aleinu, when we think about the dark, is this prayer of our ancestors who lived in a different world, who did not have light at nighttime, and had a very different, intimate relationship with the dark. And they developed this quality of bitachon that I talked about. In a moment, instead of our Amidah, we're going to do a guided meditation. And so before we journey inward, we're going to ask for shelter. Ufros Aleinu speaks of wings stretched wide over us like the sky at night, or a gentle, great bird settling over its young. As we chant, imagining a covering of tenderness spreading over this room and over each person here and each person we love. In a season of long nights, this is a prayer to feel held, to remember that protection can be soft, not rigid. Let this be a lullaby for your nervous system, an invitation to exhale and trust that even in the dark, you're not alone. Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Sukkot Shalom Echa Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Spread over us your canopy of peace. So I invite you, if you're able, to put your siddur to the side and find yourself in a comfortable pose. We will follow Joseph into the landscape of dreams. So if you fall asleep, that's okay. I say it's always okay, right? So we turn inward to listen for the quiet messages that do not arrive in the headlines, but in images, sensations, fragments of memories, sensations from our body. As we move into meditation, allow yourself to become curious. What in you is asking to be seen? What dream, desire, or truth has been waiting for a quieter room? So with this meditation, we are not here to solve anything, just to notice, to listen, to let the darkness be a place of meeting, not of fear. This meditation is inspired by our Parsha, Vayeshev. Take a moment to settle in your seat. Let your feet find the ground. Feel the support. Allow your breath to soften. Tonight we explore darkness as a place of rest, renewal, and deep intuition. Not a darkness of fear, but the ancient darkness that held creation before anything took form. Begin by noticing the pace inside you. Without changing anything yet, just simply observe. Notice your thoughts. Notice your body. Notice your breath. Ask yourself, where am I rushing in my life right now? Where am I in this sense of urgency? Just notice. See if you can notice the places that feel tight or hurried. There's no need to judge any of it. Just simply notice. Together, take a slow breath in and a long breath out. I invite you to repeat that, and on the exhale, imagine any tightness softening, any place that is clenching, imagine its release. Ask yourself, what would it feel like to move at the pace of my breath rather than the pace of my obligations? Let that question sit gently inside you. You do not need to answer it. The invitation is only to feel it. Now, if you can, imagine a soft, velvety darkness surrounding you. Not an empty void, more like a blanket. In this darkness, you do not have to see everything. You do not have to solve anything. You are allowed to rest from constant alertness. Ask yourself, what becomes possible when I do not have to be so visible? Ask yourself, what becomes possible when I let myself rest? Feel the darkness release you from the demand for clarity and speed. Let it gently say to you, you can put something down for now. Notice what, if anything, you feel ready to set down. A worry, a task, a self-expectation. You do not need to name it out loud. Just let it soften in the dark. In this week's Torah portion, Joseph is lowered into a pit and later confined to a dungeon. Places without light, places where he is unseen and mostly forgotten. But yet our text says, Vayihi Adonai et Yosef. God was with Joseph even there. This is a radical claim. Holiness is not only in the success story. Holiness is not only in the palace. Holiness is not only in the spotlight. Holiness is also in the pit. It is also in the dungeon. It is the places inside us that would rather hide or that others cannot see. Just take a breath with that. Ask yourself, if I really believe that the sacred is with me in my dark places, what might change in how I see this season in my life? Notice any feelings that arise. You do not have to even agree with the question. You only have to notice your response and what arises. Ask yourself, where have I been taught, either directly or silently, that God only shows up when I'm doing well? Now gently ask, what happens inside me if I dare to believe that God is just as present in my confusion as in my grief, in my stuckness, as in my joy? Let those questions echo in the darkness around you like gentle bells. They are not demanding answers. They are only inviting honesty. Joseph's dreams continue, even in the dungeon. Ask yourself, what part of me is still dreaming, even when I feel confined or unseen? Joseph's emergence from the pit and from the dungeon is shaped by what happens in the silence. In the darkness, he learns to pay attention. He learns to listen and discern, to see symbols in dreams. This listening and seeing in the dark becomes his strength, his wisdom, his gift to others. Ask yourself, what wisdom might be forming in me right now beneath the surface of things? You may not have words for it. You may only sense that something in you is slowly ripening. Ask yourself, what kind of person is the darkness inviting me to become? Notice any qualities that arise: patience, compassion, courage, honesty, or simply a bit more softness with yourself. Let this moment be one where your inner listening awakens. Trust even a little that something in you is being renewed, even if you cannot yet see it. Begin to sense a soft light on the horizon, not harsh, not bright, just a gentle glow, hinting that you can begin again. Ask yourself, what has softened in me? Ask yourself, what feels even a little more spacious inside me? Take one more deep, nourishing breath in and a long, slow breath out. Hold this final reflection. What small thing might I carry back into the world from this time in the darkness? It might be a new insight, a gentler place, a bit more trust that I am held, even when I cannot see the path clearly. When you are ready, allow your eyes to gently open. Know that at any time, you can return to this darkness of rest and renewal whenever you need it. Shabbat Shalom. So friends, we're going to offer a healing prayer. I invite us to say the names of those that we offer a refuah shlema, a healing of body, mind, or spirit. So friends, as we chant, you might first place your hand where you feel tender or weary and offer healing to yourself first. Then widen your circle, bring to mind someone who needs care, and then our world, aching in so many places. Let the simple words of compassion expand outwards. You'll find the words Ana Elna Rafanallah on your chant sheet. Ana Elna Ana Elna Anahelna Refanahala Anahelna 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 Refanahalo Anahelna 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 Refanahali Anahelna 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 Refanahala. So friends, we near the conclusion of our service and we say Kaddish, which we'll find on page 131. I ask people to rise who are in a period of mourning, or if you're observing a yortzeit, I invite you to do so now. Who would like to say the name? And I'd like to say the name of my father, Lawrence Lesser. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbi v'alma tivrach v'rutei v'amlich machutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael b'agalau v'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbi Mavorach le'olam olmei almaya yiparach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shmei Dekudsha, Brichu, Le'ela, Minko, Birchata, V'shirata, Tushbechata, V'nechemata, Da'amiran, Be'alma, V'imru, Amen. Yehesh Lama Rabbamin Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu, V'alko Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Osei Shalom, V'imroma, Uyasei Shalom, Aleinu, V'alko Yisrael, V'alko Yoshvei Tevel, V'imru, Amen. So friends, we close with this prayer for peace that begins in the heavens and is asked for here with us. So as we chant Oseh Shalom, invite us to notice the places in harmony, the places in us that long for harmony, the places within our bodies, the places within our relationships, within our community and our country and our world. Offer that longing honestly without pretending that things are better than they are, but also without giving up what is possible. May the one who makes peace in the high places help us become partners in making that peace, starting with how we breathe, with how we listen, and how we care for one another tonight, and how we go out into the dark. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru, Imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru, Imru, Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom. So we have Kiddush and Motzi coming, and some announcements somewhere. I didn't put it in this service, but
Would you like to, since you're asking?
I'd be happy.
Sure.
Oh,
Come to the mic.
It's written on the back of everybody. On the back of everybody's book. Please join along. Thank you. Hopefully my glasses will work. This is an important prayer in the history of our synagogue. For had it not been needed, CBH would not probably have not come into existence. Well, most of our liturgy reflects, should I just say the prayer?
Sure.
Okay. Please.
Oh, when you're ready, before you say the prayer.
He's going to.
I'm going
Just
to.
say-
Get about to
Oh,
say.
okay. So, actually, it was this prayer, and when I read your blog this morning, it reminded me that in England I got by with, I could pass as not Jewish, which in the Jewish community was considered a very good thing. It was a safe thing
In England.
in England. And when I came here, when I kept reading the prayer for the end of hiding, it brought me out as a Jew.
As LGBTQ Jews, we are aware of the loss of integrity we suffer due to pressures of the larger society. We often feel forced into a dishonest presentation of ourselves to ourselves and others. The LGBTQ individuals who feel they must pretend to be something that they are not, the Jews who feel they must be alienated from their tradition and community to win larger acceptance, both are victims of a theft of identity and integrity committed by the sexual, gender-identifying, or religious majority. Creator of the universe, we ask that our hiding draw to an end, that we no longer feel we have to pretend, to promise falsely, to renounce ourselves, and that our fullest creative expression as Jews and as lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual, and queer people be among the blessings you bestow upon us.
Amen. Feel free to be seated for these announcements. So Shabbat Shalom, welcome to Congregation Beit Chaverim.
Rabbi, you want me to do that?
Oh, yeah.
We got a board member.
Awesome.
We have a mercy here. So Julie, you said, oh, I'm not merciful.
Shabbat Shalom. And welcome to Congregation Bet Havarim, both to those of you who are here in the room in this lovely gathering and those on Zoom. My name is Julie Fishman, and I'm the first vice president of your board. Thank you very much for a beautiful, beautiful service. I really needed this this week. Thank you, Rabbi Josh. It's so good to have you in this role with us right now. Thank you, Elizabeth. Our on-site staff, Abby Garcia, who I'm pointing, but Abby is right there, and also our Zoom manager. The police officer on duty tonight is Joel Marshall, and our ONEG sponsors is the congregation. We're always grateful for all the CBH members who join us each Shabbat. If you're a member, will you raise your hand? Yeah. And so those of you who might be considering hanging out with us more, please come and speak with any of us about our synagogue. Mark your calendars for this Sunday, December 14th, for CBH's very first Hanukkah Miracle Market. We'll have over a dozen vendors selling their unique handmade goods, fresh latkes, bake sale, and a raffle. Raffle tickets are on sale right now. There is a QR code on the poster in the lobby. To purchase tickets, there's a lot of great prizes. Come on out and join us. We have a lot of Hanukkah programming coming up. Our next Shabbat will be a beautiful Hanukkah musical Shabbat. There will also be virtual menorah lightings. So check out our website for all these details. Note that our office will be closed starting on December 24th and will reopen on January 2nd. If you have business or questions for our office staff, it would be helpful to contact them next week. In January, you can look forward to another CBH blood drive, Brian, looking at you, dinner out with CBH friends, a new meditation group, intergenerational Shabbat, mitzvah day, and our annual volunteering at MedShare, that those happen over MLK weekend. Our full schedule is on the CBH website. You can check out our calendar and other information there. Thank you again, and Shabbat Shalom.
Leading a meditation group. I'll be leading a meditation group on Wednesdays at 5:45 for an hour through January, and it'll be continue through the year as needed.
On Zoom?
PM.
On Zoom, yeah.
AM or PM?
Oh, it's PM and it's on Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please rise for Kiddush. Savrei Chavarai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Borei kori hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kadsho b'yavav v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh bereishit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, Keleinu karata, Vyotanu kidashta, Lavodatecha, Veshabat kodshecha, Vyahava uvratzon, Hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
Rosh Hashanah challah.
I wonder if it's been in the freezer.
Yeah, that's
So our tradition at Beit Chaverim, if you want to join, is to either grab a hold of the challah or tell someone who's grabbing a hold of the challah. We link is one chain. Motzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise and song together, as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Is this your first time? Second, but last time was before the
So yes.
In the restarting world.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful.
Great.
Yeah, it's good. It seems like it didn't just come out.
Oh, I'm good.
Nice to meet you.
So,